What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new season, NBA basketball. We're going to talk about the 2021-2022 Eastern Conference seeds. We're going to break it down right now. But first, let's just get it out of the way real quick. There's 5 teams that are not going to make the play-in tournament in the East, and that is the Cavs, the Pistons, the Magic, the Wizards, and the Hornets. I'm not going to go into it. Just waste your time. They're not going to make the play-in tournament. Number 10. The Indiana Pacers. Look, this is pretty much the same roster as last year. Levert's already out 4 to 6 weeks as of September 28th. TJ Warren's out indefinitely with a foot stress fracture. They have a new coach, but he's not new to them, Rick Carlisle. This is his second time as head coach, but his third time there as part of the coaching staff. So I don't see much has changed here with the Pacers, so they sneak in at number 10. Number 9, the Miami Heat. Look, they got Lowry, but other than that, it's pretty much the same roster. What's Oladipo's health going to be like? What's Hero going to do? He needs to produce on the offensive end. I need to see it first because this offense just looks clunky. I have faith in Spoelstra, I really do, and I think he'll figure it out over the course of the season, which is why I have him in the play-in tournament at number 9. I wouldn't be surprised to see them surprise me and do better than this. But right now I do have him at number 9 because again, I need to see it first. Potential's there. Need to see it. Heat number 9. Number 8 in the Eastern Conference, I have the Boston Celtics, and this team is there's still something weird with this team. They promoted Stevens into the front office. And so I still see whatever is weird there that was weird last year is going to be weird this year. And the offense looks average. The bench looks mediocre. It's all the main pieces minus Kemba Walker. And what do they get in return? They got Hernan Gomez, Horford, Schroeder. None of this is something to write home about. So something is still weird here, but the talent is there. So Celtics number 8. Number 7, Toronto Raptors. This team could surprise folks, and I would like to see them do better. But again, I have them here now because I need to see it. But they look better than anticipated without Lowry. And what I mean by that, and again, it's preseason, but I'm just looking at the few small moments that the new core, how they work together and how they're kind of reading each other. And they looked a lot smoother than I expected. I think it's potentially better for the Raptors without Lowry holding on to the ball as much. The culture appears improved. It does hurt with Siakam and Boucher starting the season out already. They have some exciting young rookies on this team, Barnes and Banton. I wouldn't be surprised to see if one of them make the rotation, and one of them could produce. There's something about both of them that just caught my attention. Right, something to watch. So, but their bench is young. Their bench is really young. So, Toronto Raptors number 7. At number 6, I have the Atlanta Hawks, and this is an exciting team. Right, last year we cashed a lot of tickets with them, and they've done some good things in the offseason. They brought, first of all, the entire team has been back in Atlanta working together since late August. Nick Van Exel was hired as an assistant coach to work with the guards, and he's been working with the team since the beginning of September. McMillan says last year on their run, they learned the importance of chemistry, consistency, trust, and belief. And McMillan on Trae Young says his next step is to bring the team up with him. And that they also have potential depth for 2 units, and they may well run those 2 units. So I mean, they're almost 3 deep at all positions. So the Hawks, there's a lot there. There's a lot of potential there. So we have them at number 6. Number 5, the Brooklyn Nets. And most people don't have the Brooklyn Nets this low. I'm not most people, but I see their offense as being an issue for the Nets. Wild, you say? Yeah, but I don't think Kyrie plays the game for them this year. And as we saw in the playoffs, when they lose one of their big three, their offense is just out of balance because they don't have anybody else consistent beyond those guys. Um, what do you got? Health is going to be key for them this year, more so than it was last year, which we saw was a problem for them. No Kyrie is going to mean more minutes for Harden and KD earlier in the season or throughout the season. That's not good for them. So defense is still a major liability. I don't see that changing because that's just more effort, and again that they're going to have to exert, and that's something that Harden and KD don't have any to spare. So uh, outside of those guys, there's just few consistent scorers. So with no Kyrie, Nets are in real trouble. So I did this cap as Kyrie wasn't playing a game for the Nets this year, and so for that reason, I have the Nets at number 5. Number 4, I have the New York Knicks. Exciting young team. This is a deep team. Another one that has enough for 2 units. Really like the Kemba and Fournier pickups. Glad they re-signed D Rose. Recently is engaged D Rose, and I expect them to build off of last year. So this team is in a good place. Tibbs it looks like the team really believes in Tibbs. Expect them to build off of last year. They'll get Mitchell Robinson back soon. He's still recovering from a foot from last year. But I think this team has something to build off of. And for that reason, I have them at number 4. Number 3, I think one of the teams that did the best this offseason, Chicago Bulls. Cashed a lot of tickets with them last year. I look forward to potentially doing the same this year if the numbers are right. Um, Lots of new pieces. Really like the Ball and Caruso and DeRozan pickups. I expected it to be a little more clunky than what I saw in these first couple games. Ball movement is greatly improved. I like seeing that Levine isn't having to bring the ball up on every possession unless Kobe White was having a good game, for instance. So that's just it's a great sign for what their offense can be, right? So it looked like they're already gelling together earlier than I anticipated, just based on some of the possessions that I saw. So in these games, they are a little thin to start the season with Kobe White out with his shoulder. Patrick Williams may make it back by the beginning of the season, and Tony Bradley is out to start the season. So that will bring a little more of their bench into play, which I'm not particularly a fan of. Um, I'd say their bench is going to be their weakness, but they have the leadership and they have the strength to get the job done. Bulls, number 3 seed in the East. Number 2, reigning champs, Milwaukee Bucks. What do I need to say about the Bucks? This is the same roster. We know what they can do. So do I need to continue here? Bucks, number 2. And the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, again, Philadelphia 76ers. Defense is still a strength on this team. There's lots of continuity here. It's almost the identical roster, and so that's not a bad thing. They went to the semis and arguably lost it because of Ben Simmons. Either way, I think the Philadelphia 76ers leadership is going to be able to deal with this Simmons scenario properly. And whichever way it goes, I think they have a game plan in place to lead the team to success. I capped this without Ben Simmons on the roster and have them at number 1 seed. So take that for what you will. Philadelphia 76ers, number 1 seed in the East. Thanks again for stopping by, checking this out. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Hook me up with a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at The Hook Picks. I'll be giving out free picks and breakdowns on NBA games throughout this year. And let's cash some tickets. Best of luck, everybody. Stay sharp.